Hello, everybody in YouTube land. My name is Sidle Scout, and I am here with a review for parents. Is this game right for my child? Well, that is a loaded question. Obviously, what is right for your child is up to each parenting team individually, but I hope to give you some of the more salient aspects of the game that may influence your decision to purchase this game for your little ones. Obviously, not too little. We're talking probably age 9 or 10 and up. I don't know what the official recommended age is off the top of my head, but obviously any younger, and they may not actually be able to figure out the problems involved with the game and solve the issues that it gives you. So first thing is first, I need to tell you I am not being paid by anybody for this video or for the opinions in this video. They are my own humble musings and observations as a parent of 3 crazy teenagers and as a gamer from way back since the 80s. I have been playing games for a long, long time, and this is one of the best games I've played. It captured my interest from the word go, and it will do the same for your children as well. But let me go over that stuff that may interest you in deciding whether or not to pick up this game for your kids, especially with Christmas coming up. It might be a fun game to get for them to open up on Christmas Day. So, I have played this game for a few months now, and I think I have a good grasp on what it's all about and how it's played. Its strong and weak areas. I've picked out a few positives and even a few negatives, and then I'm going to end up with a few positives and then a recommendation toward the end. First off, one of the biggest selling points in terms of this being a game for children is that it's homework, and they're going to love doing it. You're not going to regret having them spend hours on this game because it is all math and calculation and planning and problem solving. And they're going to have to solve all these problems. They're not even going to realize that they're learning. And they're going to be excited to show you what they built. And you, in the back of your head, are going to realize that they just spent hours and hours basically doing program management and project management. So I'm about to head into my factory area here, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about on some of the factories. But yeah, essentially you take parts, or you take resources from the world, you turn them into bare bones parts that then get turned into slightly more complex parts, that then get turned into slightly more complex parts, that then combine with other slightly more complex parts to create very complex parts. And you have to solve problems like having enough power, transmitting power from place to place, transmitting parts that you need from place to place, limited amounts of resources all over the world, and yeah, all kinds of different problems to solve, and they're going to love doing it. So here's, this is my steel factory actually, so I was just going to really quickly show you what this is all about so you have just a general grasp. So down here, you can't see it, but I mine coal down in one of these buildings down here, and I bring it up here on this belt, and I also bring iron along with it. Both of those combine to create steel in these. So as you can see, 45 a minute of iron, 45 a minute of coal, and it produces 45 a minute of steel. But not all the math is that easy to do. All of these parts go into other parts and create different parts, and they all have different timings and amounts. As you can see, 60 steel ingots per minute create 15 steel beams per minute, and I have a bunch of those working in tandem together. All of those can be used in different parts as well. I think over here I have concrete or limestone being turned into concrete, and then I'm combining that concrete and the steel beams up here in this assembler. This is coming into 18 per minute and 36 per minute, and it's creating 6 per minute of this encased industrial beam. An encased industrial beam is not even a part that I send up to the space station. It's merely a part used for something else later. It's not even half the way layers deep in the part process. So as you can see, it takes a lot of math to figure out how to get these machines running efficiently. And you even use a little bit of like geometry and all kinds of different stuff. Geometry, multiplication, division, all sorts of things. As you can see, I have these laid out so that it looks and works efficiently. And your kids are going to have fun solving all those sorts of problems. So let's hop back in my train over here. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to say about the homework aspect is that you can also, it's not just the base game that you have to rely on as far as the homework thing. You can also give them fun time at the end of the school day or whatever, after they finish their homework. Say, hey, you can play Satisfactory for a couple hours, but by the end of the week, I want you to produce a factory that generates 10,000 megawatts of power, uses 0 water, and also produces 20 smart plating per minute, And if you accomplish that, then, you get an extra treat or something, or some extra allowance or whatever. Just different challenges like that you can have fun with, and give them something new to work on after they have beat the core game. So just different things that you might want to do with your child in the gameplay experience. Another positive thing that I wanted to talk about is problem solving, right? So problem solving cannot be understated. Problem solving this day and age is at a premium, right? You are given tasks to complete in the game, and though you are not told specifically how to accomplish those tasks. You're not told how to accomplish them, and you're not told how to build your factories or how to transport your items. You're given lots and lots of options for solving all of these kinds of problems. You can transport goods by train, by trucks, conveyor belts, drones, even by hand. You can use basic recipes, or you can use alternate recipes that might be more efficient and might not. And maybe they're more efficient just for you because you've used too much of one resource and not enough of another. All sorts of different things to consider. You can also build mega factories where you build everything in one gigantic splotch on the map. Or you can go modular and build mini factories, kind of like I did in this world. You can build, explore, go for a drive, craft a human cannon. You can even jam out to some tunes on a boombox. There's a little store with in-game currency that you earn, and you can buy upgrades and crafting things. There's tons of fun stuff to do, and it's all working their brain, right? This is all the sort of stuff that is building the brain connections that they need. And they're not even realizing they're learning while doing it. As you can see, I'm fighting this flower right now that's emitting bees at me that are going to sting me here in a minute. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. Alrighty. So there's also two other aspects, positive aspects that go kind of hand in hand. That's creativity and artistry. Right? Creativity is nurtured in this game by trying to solve problems in the most efficient way possible, right? You are urged to be creative, and there's 20 different ways to do things. Like I was saying, you can transport 20 different ways, or you can build your factory in 70 different ways, and you can plan your factory out in as many ways as anybody could come up with. It forces you to be creative with how you want to play and what you want to do and accomplish. And also artistry, which I think goes hand in hand with it. There's aspects to the game that are just pure fun, right? There are things in the game built specifically just to beautify it and for you to enjoy building. As you can see right here, let me close this menu. As you can see right here, this is one of my main train stations. And behind this train station, as you enter, I've started to build a neat little fun area for people to explore, right? Here's the scenic observation walkway. I put one of the little fun animals on there. But this is just some glass panels, and you can look out over the pristine wilderness down below. And then over here, I have a storage area where I store a lot of my parts that I might need for later. But I've crafted it in a way to kind of hide away most of the machine and just make it a cool little hallway like this. I've put lights in there, like these green lights, and signs up, different lights of all kinds. And I have this other walkway, like I was saying earlier about the little in-game currency. Here's the store for that. It has all sorts of stuff that you can buy with the in-game currency. There is no options to buy currency outside the game. There's no cash payments or anything like that. So don't worry about that. But you can buy tons of different upgrades for your factories. You can buy billboards and signs and new lights and all kinds of different stuff. You can even buy new colors and finishes and materials and patterns. Tons and tons of stuff. So great fun. You can build awe-inspiring towers that stretch into the sky, or you can build cave dwellings that require your kids to place a premium on space and play a little bit of a Tetris game, trying to fit everything in. You can try to survive in the desert or on top of the ocean or on a mountain peak. Tons of different ways to play. It's all up to you. And your kids are going to love just exploring a whole vast world. As you can see, I haven't even explored the entire world yet. And I haven't. This area that I've been running around in this whole game, or this whole video, I'm sorry, is just this one little valley right here. And you can see how much other areas there are in the game. It's huge and massive. So now it's time to talk about just a few of the negatives. There's only two that I could come up with. One of them is that there's an AI companion that's with you throughout the entire game, and she's in your ear. She's in your ear from the first minute you start the game. And she encourages you, and she tells you kind of about the story a little bit and what you're doing there and why you're building stuff and how to, maybe a little bit about how to build stuff. But definitely not forcing you to build things in any kind of way. But anyway, one of the things that may give you pause is that Ada, not often, but once or twice, she says things that might be concerning for your child. The one that springs to mind is when she says, "Choo choo mother effer." She doesn't actually say the word. She actually bleeps herself out. But, it still implies the bad word, so some parents might find that concerning. I thought I should at least tell you about it so that you are aware. And, okay, I saw something over here. Let me go pick up this slug. That's another cool thing about this game is the exploring. You can just wander around and find all kinds of fun things, like that slug there. Here's a friendly animal just walking along, but I got a different animal shooting at me right now. Hang on. Okay, now back to it. The only other negative that I could find to tell you about, I looked really hard, is this, what I'm doing right now, the shooting and the violence, right? There are guns and there are tasers and explosives and some other things like that. Here's another bad enemy down here. So some people might want to think twice about that before letting their children play a game with a rifle. I do not think it's all that bad. They don't put gore or guts or anything like that in the game. As you can see from the animal that I just killed, it disappears rather quickly, and there wasn't any like blood squirting out or anything. And lots of the animals are friendly. This little guy that just walked by me right there, you can bounce on them too, and they make a fun sound. See? The online community affectionately refers to these as beans. Yeah, and they let you bounce on them, and they're fun. And then here's these little birds that just sit there, and I don't know what they're doing, trying to collect insects or something. But yeah, there's only one really truly scary creature in this game, and it's the spiders. And I don't think I'm going to run into any right here, but there is an option to turn off the spiders from looking so scary. You can turn them into looking like cats. Because there were even adults that were getting pretty skittish at how they were portrayed in the game. And so they put in an arachnophobia mode just for that. So anyway, those are the two negatives that I could come up with. Like I said, not a lot of weaponry. There's this rifle, and then there's like a taser, and then there's like a taser sword kind of a thing, and then there's explosives, and maybe I missed one or two other things. But it's not a core part of the gameplay. It's basically you just taming the wilderness so that you could build your factories. That's really what's going on here. And I got a bad guy around me. There he is. So, for example, this is one of the creatures you'll encounter a lot. This is called an alpha hog. And as you notice, there's, like I was saying, there's not a lot of blood or guts or gore or anything like that. See, he just died, and you can barely tell he died. Right? No guts, no blood, no organs spewing out, nothing. So, anyway, yeah, let's go on to the last positives and then ultimately the recommendation. So competence is something that is at a premium in today's world, especially for children. Competence is hard to find and it's hard to nurture. And this one game is something that really nurtures it right from the get-go, right? They complete tasks that are not too difficult to complete, but they are rewarding, right? They get rewards at the end, and they do have to think, they do have to use their brains, but they're not going to get frustrated, and they're going to be able to do it. And there's also positive social media, like the Reddit forums for this game are some of the most positive I've seen for any game. And there's two of them that I know of, the unofficial one and the official one, but both of them are full of people just wanting to share their builds and getting, largely positive or at least constructive feedback on all of it. So if your children are old enough to be on social media like Reddit and things, all of those experiences for me thus far have been positive and useful and uplifting. So, yeah, something to consider. And like I was saying, self-confidence is a big thing. It's really hard to find ways to give your kids confidence, and having them know that they can solve problems like how to build a factory is a big deal. I wouldn't sleep on that. It's a big deal. So the last thing that's a positive is that this game has a positive message. While you actually engage in raising an ecological, paradise, I don't think kids will miss the real message, which is that you basically started on a pristine landscape and you turned it into a giant technological factory, right? So imagine this beautiful pond valley area, and now look at all that, right? Kids are going to get that picture there, right? They're going to know what that means, that nature is more beautiful than what we do to it. And that can be a very positive aspect of the game. So also something not to sleep on. But this is getting really long, and I should probably start wrapping it up. Ultimately, I think this is one of the best games that you can buy for your children. It has a lot of positive aspects, very, very few negatives, and you won't feel guilty for allowing them to spend hours and hours on this game. And I think it'll be a hit, even if it's something that they didn't ask for specifically. This would be a hit. And also, right now it's only on PC, but I've heard from the developers that they are coming out with console versions. So if your children only have a console, just sit tight. They're going to have those console versions very, very soon. And you'll be a hit at Christmas, getting them something that they didn't even know they wanted, and they're going to love it. And you're going to feel great as a parent because they're learning the whole time. So that is all I have for now. And as always, please leave comments, constructive criticisms, and things down below. And if you have time to send me a like or a subscription, I greatly appreciate all of you. And that is all I have. My name is Saddle Scout, and I will see you next time.